Hello? Can you hear me? Hello? Hello? I can hear you. We're going to learn about comprehension skills, comprehending narrative text. My name is Andy Johnson, Minnesota State University, although they're probably embarrassed to admit that. Cognitive processes related to comprehending narrative text. You can read them right there. We're looking at comparing, which is a form of connecting. We want to teach cognitive processes or thinking processes. Comparing and contrast is a cognitive process. We break the process down into steps and teach the steps explicitly. We cannot assume that students know how to do this if we do not teach them. The steps are this: look at both, identify similarities, identify differences. Example, here's a comparison chart. Similar to a Venn diagram, except a little bit more concrete for elementary students. You have these nice lines here. Similarities, differences, female, male, etc., etc., etc. You have that nice comparison right there. This is a graphic organizer used to help children organize, gather information, and organize that information. Instead of paying $15.95 for a consumable workbook, pay 98 cents for a paper notebook like this, and they can use this as a post-reading activity or a pre-reading activity. The good ideas aren't expensive. Use it as a pre-reading activity by providing some of the information, or maybe providing information on just one side. Maybe you've already read about Dorothy Gale, and you're reading about Luke Skywalker, so you're going to try to fill in the rest of the chart. So you give them some structure to go on as they're reading. And of course, it makes a great post-reading activity. Now, what I like to do is I like to make personal connections. So I might have the student compare themselves to a character from the story, or a famous movie character to a character in the story, making these different connections, or someone they know to a character in the story. Another way to make a comparison, this is not a contrast, it's just a comparison, comparing T-chart. Again, this is a great way to make connections, to bring yourself into the story. This is Dorothy's bad day on one side. That's my bad day on the other side. Gets them going into the story, identifying things that they think are interesting or important, and making those personal connections by comparing to self. And you're limited only by your imagination. Luke Skywalker and Dorothy. Now notice we're making the comparison here. And if you want to get archetypal and look at shadow side, interesting how the shadow side was a female version or a same gender version of themselves. Interesting? No? Yes. Again, we teach the process to develop the skill. We are teaching this or doing this not so students can do a comparing T-chart and all that, but so that they do this automatically. Thinking moves from outside to in. Video lessons right there. Check me out.